This is a sperm whale, and it is the one animal in the entire ocean that the sea's apex predator, the orca, the so-called killer whale, will simply refuse to fight. Sit with that for a second. The most efficient pack hunter in the ocean looks at a full-grown sperm whale and backs away. For centuries, sailors came home with stories nobody believed. A monster in the deep, something that dragged whole ships under. The Kraken, Leviathan, the white whale that hunted the men who hunted it. And here's the part that should unsettle you a little. They weren't making it up. Every sea monster we ever invented traces back to this one very real animal. But the internet has turned it into something it isn't. So tonight I'm going to tell you what's exaggeration and what is actually genuinely true. Because with the sperm whale, the truth is stranger than the myth. Start with those orcas. On paper, a pod of killer whales should win. They're fast, they're coordinated, they're the smartest hunters in the sea. But a bull sperm whale is 45 tons, 3 times the length of an orca and 6 times the weight. Ramming that is like a wolf throwing itself at a moving bus. So when a family of sperm whales is threatened, they do something extraordinary. The adults turn inward, tuck the calves into the middle, and point their tails outward. A living wall of muscle, each fluke 5 meters wide. It's called the Marguerite Formation. One flick of that tail can shatter bone. But here's where I have to be honest with you, because most videos won't be. Orcas are not terrified of sperm whales. There's something scarier than that. They're smart. They don't touch the 45-ton adult. They wait, and they cut out the vulnerable. A female, a calf, an animal that's already hurt. Off California, researchers once watched 35 orcas do exactly that to a pod of 9. So the wall isn't for show. It's there because the danger is real. The sperm whale's first weapon was never rage, it was cooperation. So why is a grown one basically untouchable? Because every record in the ocean belongs to this animal. It is the largest predator alive today. Not the largest animal, the blue whale takes that, but a blue whale strains tiny shrimp through a sieve. The sperm whale hunts. It is the biggest hunter on Earth. It carries the largest brain that has ever existed, on any creature, ever. Around 8 kilograms, 5 to 6 times the size of yours. Whatever it's doing down there in the dark, it's doing a lot of it. And it is the loudest animal on the planet. Its clicks hit 230 decibels. Now, you'll hear people say that sound is loud enough to vibrate a human being to death. That one's a myth. That number is measured underwater. In air, it's closer to 170. Enough to hurt your ears, not to kill you, and only at point-blank range. But the divers who've been close describe something eerier. They don't hear the clicks first, they feel them, passing straight through the chest, through the bones of the skull, which is somehow worse. And that sound is how it owns the one place nothing else can survive. The sperm whale is the deepest diving mammal on Earth, down past 3,000 meters into a black, freezing, crushing world with no light and no air. It holds its breath for an hour and a half. On the way down, it collapses its own lungs on purpose and runs on oxygen packed into its blood and muscle, so much of it that its flesh is nearly black. Down there, eyes are useless, so it hunts with sound, firing clicks into the dark and reading the echoes to build a 3-dimensional map of everything around it. A giant squid can hang there, motionless, invisible, perfectly camouflaged. To a sperm whale, it might as well be standing under a streetlight. And here's the second myth, because I promised you the honest version. People love to say the whale stuns the squid with a blast of sound, like a flashbang. The research doesn't back that up. There's no sonic stun gun. What actually happens is simpler and honestly more monstrous. It runs the squid down in total darkness and inhales it whole by suction. And we know these battles happen, even though no human has watched one, because of the evidence written on the whales themselves. Their stomachs are full of thousands of indigestible squid beaks, so many that scientists use them to count squid we've never even seen. And nearly every adult is scarred. Great circular welts from the hooks and suckers of squid the size of a school bus. Go back to those sailors for a second. A creature the size of their ship, rising out of the black, covered in scars from a fight with something even bigger, making a sound they could feel through a wooden hull. Of course they thought it was a monster. It looks exactly like one, and sometimes it fought back. In 1820, an 85-foot bull rammed and sank a whaling ship called the Essex in the middle of the Pacific, twice and deliberately. The survivors drifted for months. One of them told the story to a young writer named Herman Melville. 30 years later, it became Moby Dick. But here's the turn. We didn't fear the monster for long. We hunted it for the waxy oil inside its enormous head, which burned cleaner than anything else on Earth and lit the cities of the Industrial Revolution. We killed them until whole populations simply collapsed. The monster, it turned out, was the one who needed saving. So what is it really? Because the thing that makes a sperm whale a monster was never the size or the sound or the teeth. It's the mind. The largest brain on the planet belongs to an animal that lives in a family. The females stay together for life, led by a grandmother. When a mother dives a mile down to feed, another female stays up top to guard her calf, and will even nurse it as her own. And they talk in rhythms of clicks called codas, patterns that change from family to family and ocean to ocean. Dialects, a culture, a language we still can't read. They even carry nutrients up from the deep and fertilize the surface, quietly helping the ocean pull carbon back out of the sky. A monster that gardens the sea. We invented sea monsters to explain the dark, and the truth turned out stranger than any of them. A record-breaking, ship-sinking giant with the biggest brain on Earth that spends its life raising its children and speaking in a code we have never cracked. The Kraken was real. It was just gentler and far smarter than we ever imagined. And that is the ocean's only real sea monster. If this changed how you see them, stay with me, subscribe, and next time I'll take you somewhere just as strange. The ocean is full of monsters. Most of them aren't what you think.